The GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now, it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Good evening and welcome to the GBN television news for Thursday, December 9th, 2021. In the headlines, driving instructors and police reach settlement on the use of 30-year-old guide marks for driving students. TAMCC workers to receive outstanding payments this month. Jobs preservation dominates TAWU's annual general meeting on Thursday. Elderly man jumped to his death from hospital balcony. Minister of Hospital Services says it's a hard pill to swallow. Coming up in around the globe, brazen school shooting leaves school teacher dead in Jamaica, and internationally, New Zealand to ban cigarette sales for future generations. Coming up in sports, athletics coach Wayne McSween and athlete Gamali Felix return from the 2021 Pan Am Junior Games in Colombia. The details of these and other stories are straight ahead. Stay with us.
Are you a small business and would like your business to grow? Do you have an event, products or services that people should know about? Be wise. Advertise. Book your spot on GBN Shopping Guide. Be part of Grenada's biggest advertising medium, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Call our sales department now on 440-2446 or 440-3033 or GBN plus the number sign. Email us at sales@gbn.gd. Special conditions apply.
Welcome to the news. Thanks for joining us. I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh. Noting the appointment of a new principal for the T.A. Marichaud Community College, Minister of Education Emmeline Pear, during her contribution to the budget debate, highlighted that they are in reform mode at the institution. The Caribbean Development Bank has approved funding for a consultant for the tertiary institution, while government remains committed to paying outstanding increments. Gerard Joseph has the details.
Workers of the T.A. Marichaud Community College took to the streets in 2019 to demonstrate their displeasure over a response from government on the long-standing issue of incremental payments dating back to 2013, amounting to over $6 million, had been the issue, which was later resolved. During the recent budget debate, Education Minister Emmeline Pear noted that government has maintained its financial obligations to workers at the
But Mr. Speaker, last year we paid $800,000 in increments to workers at TAMCC. Didn't hear anything much from the union. Nothing much. As a matter of fact, many people may not have known. But Mr. Speaker, I want to announce this morning that by the end of this month, we would be paying an additional $1 million to workers at TAMCC as outstanding increments.
Minister Pierre credited the team at TAMCC, who has been leading the transformation process, for their capable management of the institution's finances.
This year, this government has put no additional monies because we have been managing the resources in such a way that they can now access savings to be able to pay the increments to workers at the end of this year. I commend the team, Mr. Speaker, for an excellent job that they've been doing.
Meanwhile, the minister said the strategic direction of TAMCC is their focus as they reform the St. Andrew and St. Patrick campuses.
Too many of our students from the north have to come down to St. George's. We are going to be placing emphasis on how do we boost, how do we improve to ensure that more of our students are serviced at those campuses.
Infrastructural development in terms of a new building for the Carriacou campus, plus new offerings in subject areas, the Education Minister said will be major features in the future. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
The biggest concern for employees represented by the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union is job security. And this is the theme under which the 4th General Council of the Union was held today, preserving jobs and health in the midst of COVID-19. Here's Christelina John with more.
Preservation of jobs, especially during this COVID period, was the main focal point for discussion at the General Council of the Technical and Allied Workers Union on Thursday. President of GTAU, Andre Lewis, says one of the bigger challenges faced by workers during this time is the loss of jobs. Even though there might have been a reduction in salaries or reduced working hours in some instances, he says they have been able to preserve jobs for members.
The unemployment has significantly increased during this particular period, but we have been able within TAU to minimize that loss of jobs by making a number of compromises in order to hold on to the jobs. So the main driving aspect of the union has been the preservation of jobs. Even if it meant compromising on some fronts to hold on to jobs, we had to do that. But at the end of the day, we can all adjust that going forward. So much so that in most of the workplaces, salaries are almost back to normal. And the working period is almost back to normal. Yes, there are some places that have not yet gone back to that. But it is absolutely clear that this will be done in the not too distant future.
With government giving the assurance that some contract workers within the public service will be regularized, the union's president says, as a union, they too have an obligation in ensuring that this happens.
So there's the aspect of contract work. And the General Council have already, again, given its commitment to stand up once we decide to take whatever decisive action that is required at the right time, and that timing will be decided by us, given the commitment to ensure that the workers who are on contract in any workplace that we represent shall be made permanent at the right time. If the employer fails to do that, the relevant action must be taken to ensure that that has been done.
A number of employees have already felt the brunt of job losses due to their refusal to get vaccinated. The union leader was again questioned on their stance for workers who are members of the union opting not to be vaccinated.
Said and maintained that vaccination ought not to be mandatory, especially for established workers who are already working. In TAU's case, outside of SGU, because SGU is currently before the Ministry of Labor, as you recall, we have had cases where there were mandates given to workers and deadlines given, but through our engagement, those mandates has been pulled back and those deadlines have been removed. So far, outside of SGU, all the other workplaces that have engaged us in terms of mandatory vaccination, we have been able to push back even where there are deadlines given. So we have been doing that. We have been doing that, encouraging workers to be vaccinated. But we have been pushing back against mandatory vaccination.
Lewis says while some of these negotiations are taking place, employees remained on the job. Christelina John, GBN News.
The Royal Grenada Police Force and driving instructors across the island have reached an agreement to allow the use of markings for students taking practical driving exams, at least for now. The instructors took protest action last week, Tuesday, after being told to discontinue the use of the markings with immediate effect. According to Dean Fraser, one of the driving instructors in Grandance, a meeting was held with high-ranking officers of the Royal Grenada Police Force and driving instructors across the island at the Grenada Trade Center last Friday. After dialogue between both parties, a final decision was made to continue with the marks until further discussions in the new year.
We met with all the instructors from the different parishes, and we come to the conclusion that the mark on the vehicle would remain until further discussion has taken place with the top brass of the RTBS. And further consultation will take place as to the implementation and when we will get to that point. So as it stands, the marking on the vehicle has remained. They take the recommendations that we had, and they decided that among the members, the hierarchy of the police force, they would look into it in the new year.
During the phone interview this afternoon with GBN, Mr. Fraser says they are not sure what the year 2022 will be, but if he has to remove the markings, it may have to be a phase-in process.
Doing this maybe for the past 30 years or so in that particular way, and there's a new way to be done. We will first of all have to get guidance of how it's been done, and then how we are to carry it out to show the students on them. But we were urged to still keep in mind that it could be something that could be implemented, but gradually as we go forward. But generally, a consensus was taken sometime in the early part of the new year. That would be taking place.
GBN tried to contact officers of the Traffic Department of the RGPF to comment on the matter, but they were unavailable. Moving on, as government prepares to dip into the consolidated fund to pay Christmas bonuses, in the same light it has begun a process of cutting foreign currency expenditures. According to Foreign Affairs Minister Oliver Joseph, no longer will Grenada hold as many physical offices or embassies in countries and international organizations. Here's Gerald Joseph with that story.
The move to appoint more honorary consuls rather than have embassies with ambassadors or high commissioners is part of government's initiative to reduce the cost to Grenada.
It is very expensive to have embassies located outside of Grenada. You have to rent space, provide accommodation for the ambassador, pay the staff with in U.S. currency, and therefore, in order to reduce costs, we are seeking to appoint more honorary consuls.
It was first announced during the budget debate by Foreign Affairs Minister Oliver Joseph that there are changes to the diplomatic representations outside of Grenada. One of the adjustments is the ambassador in the United States, who is also the non-resident ambassador to Mexico, to now represent Grenada as a non-resident high commissioner to Canada.
There is an arrangement with the OECS, where the OECS have one high commission in Canada that represents the OECS countries. But for the remainder of the OECS, they have taken a decision to appoint non-resident high commissioners to Canada. So traditionally, we have appointed our ambassador in Washington, that is our ambassador to the United States, and the OAS as our non-resident high commissioner. Because Canada is a member of the Commonwealth, we use the term high commissioner, and when the country is not a member of Commonwealth, we use the term ambassador.
The Foreign Affairs Minister notes that this is the government's policy direction of establishing more honorary consuls via a mixture of citizens who are Grenadians by naturalization, birth, and the CBI.
We have recently requested an appointment for someone to be Grenada's ambassador to the WTO, but we await the response so that we can make a full announcement when the person is fully accredited. And there are other international organizations that we have appointed, made up appointment to others in the International Maritime Organization and other UN agencies where it is no cost to the government of Grenada.
Grenada will be represented and internal investments promoted for the country by these potential honorary consuls. I am Gerald Joseph for GBN News.
This is GBN Primetime Edition of News. Coming up in tonight's Health, an aortic aneurysm survivor tells his story from Guyana. Stay with us, more news is next.
It's the season to give, and Granlec invites you to give a gift of love and light to someone in our community who has been challenged by COVID-19. Make your account current and nominate someone for a chance to win. 200 winners will be gifted with a $400 grocery voucher or a $75 electricity voucher. If we select your entry, you too will win. Visit our website or Facebook page for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Promotion runs November 24th to December 24th. Give a gift from Grenlec this holiday.
With Republic Bank. Light up your home with renovation. Light up your driveway with a new vehicle. Even better, light up the faces of your loved ones with a loan from Republic Bank. Get up to $50,000 unsecured. Reduce interest rates, quick approvals, and win cash prizes with Republic Bank. This Christmas, your brightest with Republic Bank. Special terms and conditions apply.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Let's get tough on breed your larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from all produce sellers. To all people, 300 for police for them thieving fellas. To all the families, don't steal produce from your brother. Then you sell it to traffickers, hotels, and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop radio larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report radio larceny, call 300.
See them good at court this season with a massive one-day sale. Friday, December 10th. Get 25% off store-wide. Plus, pay nothing until March 2022. Offers available in-store and online at www.shopcourts.com. Conditions apply. Courts, bringing value home.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Ariza Credit Union wishes you a joyous and peaceful Christmas. May you and your loved ones continue to be safe as you enjoy the festive season.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Ariza Credit Union, your financial freedom, your future.
We're here to make you happy, 'cause that's what we do.
Spare the earth, always at Grenlec, you come first. Save energy, save a time. We choose your wattage and we choose your time. When you use appliances, make sure you buy energy efficient every time. Spare your pocket, spare the earth,
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Light up this Christmas with Republic. Come on and brighten up the holidays with Republic.
Light up your Christmas with Republic Bank. Light up your home with renovation. Light up your driveway with a new vehicle. Even better, light up the faces of your loved ones with a loan from Republic Bank. Get up to $50,000 unsecured. Reduce interest rates, quick approvals, and win cash prizes with Republic Bank.
The holidays are here. Republic's spreading the cheer. Come on and light up your Christmas with Republic.
Make this Christmas your brightest with Republic Bank. Special terms and conditions apply.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back to the news. The death of a 74-year-old man who was a patient at the General Hospital on Wednesday is a hard pill to swallow with Foreign Minister responsible for hospital services, Delma Thomas. Christelina John spoke with her today.
GBN was informed that the gentleman, identified only as a 74-year-old male patient, may have committed suicide. Information gathered from a source suggests that the elderly man jumped to his death from a balcony at the General Hospital, where he was warded. The St. Patrick resident had been a patient at the hospital since November 24th. According to the release from the Ministry of Health, they have been in touch with the family of the deceased and will continue to provide the necessary support to them in this time of grief. GBN established contact with Minister with responsibility for hospital services, Delma Thomas, who expressed her grief at this tragedy, as the individual is a close family friend.
I'd like to express my deepest condolences to the family of the hospital victim. This is a sensitive issue for me, as I do know the family personally, and I do know the gentleman as a family friend, and so it is very painful dealing with such a situation.
Speaking to our news desk via telephone on her general view in light of this latest occurrence and other incidences of suicides and homicides in the outer parishes, the minister adds that as a society, we should not ignore the cry for help. She adds that we must look at ways to assist and identify signs that they need professional help.
The issues are always challenging to deal with in every society. While the rates of suicide here in Grenada are very low compared to most of the societies, every incident is a cause for concern, a cause for us to think deeper, a cause for us to reach out to families and friends in times of crisis, a time for us to know the signs of depression and the signs that a family member is seeking help.
From the psychological level, Minister Thomas says her ministry is equipped with professional counselors who are able to offer guidance to people dealing with depression and other psychosocial issues.
My really immediate concern are for families who have been affected by those latest incidences of suicide in Grenada, and for us to continue to work with them, let's pray for them in this challenging time.
Christelina John, GBN News.
Grenadians are put on notice that there is a significant fine or fine and confine penalty for anyone found guilty of using a fake vaccination card or certificate at the country's ports of entry. Minister of Health Nicholas Steele explained the legal repercussions one can face if found guilty of such an offense.
If it is regional, similarly, we have a regional database and regional connectivity. If it is international, for instance, a US-based CDC certificate, it does vary from state to state. Some states have an electronic registry that can be checked. There are certain applications that are available for verification, like Verifly is one that's used for travel. And then if it is European based or so, then we would have to check with the authorities there, NHI or European Union. So it all depends on where that certificate comes from. But basically, verification is done either through an application, if one does exist, as we have here too in Grenada, or by getting in touch with the health authority in the region or country.
Minister Steele says there are various methods put in place to verify the authenticity of vaccination cards that are issued to individuals around the world.
And the penalties in the most severe case is $10,000 and or 6 months, up to 6 months in jail. So that can be one of the penalties, which would be for the falsification of a vaccination card, false declaration trying to enter Grenada, or not following a quarantine order should one be given to an individual.
And now history is in the making for the health professionals in the region as an aortic aneurysm survivor credits superhero doctors for saving his life. Experts say the survival rate for anyone with an abdominal aortic aneurysm is 35%. However, for 36-year-old Christopher James, his chances of surviving dropped by 1% with each passing minute after his aneurysm ruptured en route to the operating table. Miraculously, after having stared death in the face and survived, James is now heaping praises on the Georgetown Public Hospital surgical team in Guyana, who he dubbed superheroes. For this week's GBN Health Edition, we connect with Amel Griffith over at HGP TV to tell us more about this historic phenomenon.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Glenwood, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
When pains associated with kidney stones attacked him, Iconi East Coast Demerara farmer, there was nothing he could do but gobble down pain medications or wait in agony until they subsided. This was the routine Christopher James was forced to become accustomed to since the age of 16. Then, on November 6, 36-year-old James suddenly began experiencing a different type of pain, more blinding and intense. The severity of the pain increased and became sustained, and James immediately knew something was very wrong. Unable to bear the pain, the farmer visited the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation GBHC, where he learned that he had an aortic aneurysm. In layman's terms, the aorta, the largest artery that carries blood from the heart, was swollen and could burst at any time. Describing it as one of the most painfully frightening experiences in his life, the same day he got the earth-shattering diagnosis, he had to be rushed to surgery.
I was getting rushed to the theater. It's ruptured. I started to panic. My body started to shut down. Not me panic, but my body started to shut down, take control, and I can't do anything else. And thank God for the great doctors.
The ruptured part of his artery was replaced with a synthetic graft. Still recovering from the 3.5-hour-long surgery last Thursday, the 36-year-old, who was in high spirits, said he is better than he has ever been. Now, given another chance at a normal life, James could only praise the GPHC doctors for saving his life.
I consider myself the most luckiest person in Guyana at the moment. And those doctors are superheroes. They are my superheroes.
James is one of the 3 patients that benefited from groundbreaking surgeries at the GPHC 1 week ago. Dr. Carlos Martin, a general and vascular surgeon and head of the transplant and vascular department, Dr. Kishore Prasad, were part of the skilled team that operated on James. With the survival rate of 35%, Dr. Martin said that every passing moment counted since it was a matter of life and death.
Even if the patient arrives at the hospital alive, the mortality rate increases 1% every minute. So if you think 65% of those patients will die even before reaching the hospital, we're talking minutes now, tick, tick, tick.
This was the first time an emergency surgery for a ruptured abdominal aortic aneurysm was ever facilitated at the hospital.
I have never heard of an abdominal aortic aneurysm that was operated on, a ruptured abdominal aortic aneurysm that actually survived. So once he make it through this critical period, he will be history for our hospital.
For the HGP Nightly News, I'm El Griffith.
And now let's turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Rena Perry-Thomas has been looking around the platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz Report.
Bedridden at 17 due to spinal injury, a mother pained by her daughter's suffering and lack of mobility at a young age is doing what any mother would do to see her child on her feet again. GBN brought this story and you, our online audience, took to the comment section to air your views. Francis said, "All the millionaires there, please help this family. You are closer than anyone else. Don't turn your back on them, please. This is where the government should come in. Citizens vote for them. Oftentimes they are not hearing people's cry. So sad." Susan Labari commented, "Praying for your daughter. So sorry to hear. I wish you and your family well. God is in control. Such a beautiful young lady." Christine Sylvester wrote, "I wish a miracle of healing on her young life in the mighty name of Jesus before the surgery." Russell Margaret said, "God is a miracle working God. Your daughter will come through in Jesus' name." And finally, Brenda Sylvester Daffin asked, "How did they diagnose her with just x-rays? Please give her proper help. She is so young and this is a toss-up." That's a wrap for tonight's Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
And still ahead, Grenada Volunteer Committee based in the UK provides more PPEs and other items to the General Hospital. That story next.
My fabric and my tools are used for the delivery.
My baking equipment is my most treasured possession.
My china set has been passed down for 2 generations so far.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
Get vaxxed, hey, hey, vaccinated. Get vaxxed, hey, hey, get vaccinated. Vaccinated. So wear your mask, wash your hands, and practice social distance. This is we chance to advance. Come let we fight this COVID at once. So come on, let we fall in line. We want to come back to we social life. There is vaccination island wide. So come on, let we fight it to protect we and we family.
This is a message from the Grenada Red Cross and the Ministry of Health.
You're already ill and have no time or energy to walk every which way to access your healthcare needs. So come to Spice Isle Imaging on the Carenage for a one-spot stop for all your health service needs. See our in-house doctor and get your meds from the pharmacy right on location. Digital X-ray, MRI, CT scans, mammography, ultrasound and laboratory services are also available. So for that moment when life makes demands on you, you can make demands on us. Visit us at Spice Isle Imaging, Carenage, St. George's.
Super Sunday! Sunday, December 19th is Super Sunday in Grenada! Wow! And this year, it's gonna be online with a whopping $20,000 US. Yes, you heard right. $20,000 US to be won. Just get a ticket for only US $20 and you stand a chance to win. Get your tickets now from numerous box offices island-wide in Grenada. If you're playing overseas, tickets are only available at gotofed.com. Sunday, December 19th is Super Sunday. Join the fun and excitement online. Play Waggy T Virtual Bingo and win cash this Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Looking for a professional team offering around-the-clock, private and confidential nursing, medical care, and aid services? Then look no further. Nurses Care Grenada is a fully certified, insured, and licensed healthcare facility committed to the reduction and eventual elimination of healthcare disparities affecting the nation. Our registered nurses will visit you at your home, assess your condition, and provide the required treatment under the directive of a doctor. So why worry when there's Nurses Care Grenada? Give us a call, 406-3928. Nurses Care, reliable, trusted professionals we can all depend on.
Welcome back. Grenadians in the diaspora continue to play their part in helping the country in its fight against COVID-19. On Thursday, members of the Grenada Volunteer Hospital Committee donated some PPEs and oxygen concentrators to the General Hospital. More in this Rena Per-Thomas report.
It's a continuation of lending a hand to the development of Grenada's health system and its management effort of the COVID-19 virus. The Grenada Voluntary Committee, based in the United Kingdom, once again donated PPEs and other items to the General Hospital on Thursday. The committee, which has been in operation since 1967, was founded by 3 Grenadian nurses living in the UK and has since blossomed with more Grenadians wanting to give back. Miss Eugene Sandy David, a member of the committee, spoke of the items donated.
This morning we are handing over some PPEs, and as we know, that's personal protective equipment, and 2 oxygen concentrators. And this is by way of contributing to government's efforts in the management of the COVID-19 pandemic. And the organization this is about the 3rd contribution in this regard, because they have contributed by way of cash to government's procurement fund. So it is my pleasure, and I trust that the donation will be, make a little dent in the management for the hospital services, and I think specifically the General Hospital at this time.
Since the onset of COVID-19 in Grenada, the committee made many contributions, including the donation of food hampers through the St. Vincent de Paul Society. Head of the Office of the Diaspora, Mr. Derek James, says the support received by Grenadians in the diaspora has gone a long way in the fight against COVID-19 and the improvement of the country's health system.
The diaspora has donated just about $4 million EC dollars to the COVID fight, and as we move on to continue to support Grenada, I want to express my appreciation to all the diaspora, wherever you are, and especially I want to say thanks to Jackie McKenzie, who's the one who really put forward to make the donation of the oxygen concentrators. So I want to say thanks to Jackie and her continued support, and to all the diaspora, the High Commissioner and her team, and to the diaspora in London. And we do appreciate this, and we look forward to working with the diaspora and continue to help Grenada in its efforts, not just to fight COVID, but to improve the healthcare system in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
Permanent Secretary with responsibility for hospital services, Hannah St. Paul, accepted the items on behalf of the hospital.
On behalf of the Ministry of Health, I would like to express our sincere
sincere thanks and gratitude to the Grenada Voluntary Hospital Committee based in London and the members that also are here in Grenada. We thank you for this contribution, and we want to allow you to know that this contribution would go a long way as we continue to fight and manage our response to COVID-19. The pandemic have affected us in many, many ways, and we know that our supplies and resources needed in order to care for our people.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
And now let's see what our citizen journalists captured. It's time for GBN ISAW.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISAW is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
ISAW reporter harvested their first biggest sorrel to ringing the Christmas season. Sorrel is a sweet gingery wine hued drink that has been a part of our ISAW reporter's Christmas tradition for several years. It is usually offered as an option alongside eggnog and rum punch at many bars and holiday parties. Its seasonal popularity is due to the time of the year. Its primary ingredient, the blossoms of the hibiscus plant, were originally harvested and cultivated in the Caribbean. We thank our ISAW reporter for this submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Stay with us. Coming up next, the weather, followed by sports and our probe around the globe.
Give some love with dread. Bringing love for you this game. Communion show with that weekend. With gifts of love with dread.
We're bringing you gifts of love with cheer at the communal. This Christmas, we are your Santa. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Get in on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2022. Share the gift of love. Make it a merrier Christmas with the communal. Exciting prizes for members throughout the promotion. For we are your Santa this Christmas. Offer ends January 31st, 2022. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Communion show with that weekend. With gifts of love with dread. Gifts of love with dread. Bringing love for you this year.
Looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Your vehicle insurance should never break your bank. With Beacon, you can get up to 35% off your fully comprehensive car insurance and still get full protection from unexpected damages with free loss of use, windscreen cover, and special perils. When it comes to your insurance, always be sure you settle for more. Call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt and get a quote today.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered. And here's the public weather forecast for the state of Grenada. Tonight's minimum temperature, 24.5 degrees Celsius. The weather will be mostly fair with a few light showers during partly cloudy spells. Winds will be northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas will be moderate with waves up to 7 feet in open waters. A marine advisory remains in effect. Tides will be high at 9 p.m. and low at 2 a.m. On Friday, sunrise will be at 17 minutes after 6 a.m. and sunset 5:47 p.m. The weather will be generally fair with a low chance of a few light nighttime showers. Into the weekend, Saturday, sunrise will be 6:18 a.m. and sunset 5:44 p.m. The weather will be mostly fair in the daytime, becoming partly cloudy by evening with a medium chance of nighttime showers. Then on Sunday, sunrise and sunset, 6:18 and 5:44 respectively. Partly cloudy conditions are expected, with light daytime showers becoming cloudy overnight with light to moderate showers. And that's the weather report and forecast valid for tonight and the next 3 days. Stay tuned, sports is next. Good evening, sporting fans. Let's run off with track and field. Athletics coach Wayne McSween, upon his return from the recently concluded 2021 Pan Am Junior Games in Colombia, says he had a mixed experience at the inaugural event. McSween says there were bittersweet moments from the event.
So the sweet part of Colombia, one, was the performance of our 3 athletes. Really good and give the best. Gamali in the 400, Johnny, our silver medalist, and Kelsey in the shot and the disc. That was good for me. The conduct, behavior, mannerism, that helped it. Make it proud to be a Grenadian. It make it proud to be some people I know and I could stand with and support. That was my highlights.
Johnny Thomas won silver in the women's heptathlon, while Gamali Phoenix placed 4th in the 400-meter men's final with commendable performances from Kelsey Morrell Ross in the shot put and discus.
Bearing in mind, we are at a time in December when our microcycles are just finishing general preparation specific. Competition is nowhere in the book yet. And to go and be so outstanding with the creme de la creme, it was really outstanding. One of the sad moments though, in my observation, some of who we have here could have been there doing well. And I will make reference, not just to talk, but to give example, a 4x4. Yes, we would have been there. But then again, we could only say that now that it's over. But that would have been a highlight for us.
Coach McSween notes that the lone medal is of great significance for Grenada.
Listen, that silver medal is like a trophy. It's like Irani bronze at Olympic. That silver medal is just awesome. I mean, as a coach, I was really going for the gold. I thought we had it in the palm of the palm, you know. But with such good fight, she fought. But that silver medal is like, well, everyone, you know, because Gamali's 4th position with 46 is like a gold. Kelsey's 15 was like, the performance was just awesome.
Coach McSween and athlete Gamali Felix returned to Grenada last night and was greeted by Team Grenada's chef de mission, Denise Williams. Now let's move on. Underdogs Happy Hill FC will be seeking to create further upsets in the GFA Under-19 football tournament, with a final tentatively scheduled for next Thursday. A new champion will be crowned when the finalists, Happy Hill FC and Queen's Park Rangers, meet for the conclusion of the tournament, which was delayed twice during the year. Happy Hill defeated Giants Hurricanes SC in the semi-finals, and its coach, Carlson McQueen, said the club is still in the building stage.
We don't have the equipment like 100% for training, because we train, we just have 5 balls, you know, and it's something we're trying to work on to build the club to bring back Happy Hill on top. Yeah.
And tournaments like these, how much has it benefited your players?
Well, very good, very good. I have a young player there, Devontae Batiste. He played for the national under-17, so it's a kind of development for the player. So I try to show them now, if they come and train to play the football how you're supposed to play, they'll get called for the national team and they go show themselves. And scout might see them and they get the opportunity to travel.
Queen's Park Rangers, on the other hand, defeated defending champions Paradise FC International to book its final spot, and coach Joachim Wilson notes that they are gearing up for the final contest.
We just need to be more clinical in front of goal, take our chances when we get them, and we should be fine.
And also tournaments like these, how much has it helped your players develop?
Yeah, it helps because the more games you play, the better you become, and you develop as a young player, so it helps a lot.
The final venue for the final will be the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. And now finally in cricket, as of December 8th, 2021, Windward Island senior players in the franchise system will participate in the instructional program called ACE, the acronym for Advancing Cricketers Through Education. ACE comprises a series of courses and seminars that will furnish Windward's cricketers with knowledge and the necessary off-the-field skills and mental tenacity to be the utmost professional, which will help them to realize their fullest potential. A diverse group of experts will facilitate the various courses under the program. Some of the categories covered under the program are cricket, physical fitness, life skills, and mental skills. Specific topics include the history of West Indies cricket, cricket analytics, attitude and motivation, concentration and managing emotions, communication, and money management. And that's it for sports this evening. Stay with us. Regional and international news are all up next. Tonight we start in Jamaica, where the police are investigating the shooting death of 28-year-old Chanel Smith. According to reports, Smith was on her way to school when, on reaching the gate, she was pounced on by a young man who shot her about 3 times. She was rushed to hospital but succumbed to her injuries. Smith had been employed to Sandy Bank Infant School since September 2018. She was a trained graduate teacher assigned to Class 2 since September 2019.
Students and teachers at the Sandy Bank Basic School in Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth, have been left shocked and traumatized following the shooting death of a teacher, 26-year-old Chanel Smith. It's reported that Miss Smith, who is from the community, arrived at the school about 7:50 a.m. Two men dressed in hooded sweaters and masks were parked at the gate pretending to repair their motorcycle. Eyewitnesses say one of the men pulled a firearm and shot Miss Smith as she approached the gate. The men then fled the scene. Her father is distraught. The incident has also left the community puzzled, as the deceased teacher was not known to be involved in wrongdoing. Miss Smith has been working at the school since 2018. The institution is now closed until further notice. In the meantime, other stakeholders are condemning the brutal killing. In a release earlier today, Southwest St. Elizabeth MP Floyd Greed indicated that he has contacted the Early Childhood Commission to provide counseling services for the children and the teachers. The Ministry of Health and Wellness was also contacted to help in providing counseling for the family. Codianne Barrett, TVJ News.
Now let's move internationally. Italy's antitrust watchdog said it fined e-commerce giant Amazon $1.28 billion for alleged abuse of market dominance. It's one of the biggest ever penalties imposed on a U.S. tech giant in Europe. The country's antitrust watchdog said Amazon had hurt competing operators in the e-commerce logistics market. It accused the firm of abusing its dominant position in the Italian market to help sellers using its logistics service over other rivals.
Italy has fined Amazon $1.28 billion for alleged abuse of its market dominance. It's one of the biggest ever penalties imposed on a US tech giant in Europe. The country's antitrust watchdog said Amazon had hurt competing operators in the e-commerce logistics market. It accused the firm of abusing its dominant position in the Italian market to help sellers using its logistics service over other rivals. The US giant was alleged to have given those sellers priority when customers searched for a product. The competition authority said it would also impose corrective steps on Amazon that will be subject to review by a monitoring trustee. Amazon said it strongly disagreed with the decision and called it unjustified and disproportionate. It's not the first time Italy has punished Amazon this year. In November, it and Apple were hit with a $225 million fine for alleged anti-competitive cooperation in the sale of Apple and Beats products. The Italian watchdog said the companies allowed only selected resellers to sell the products on Italy's Amazon site.
And finally, New Zealand will ban the sale of tobacco to its next generation in a bid to eventually phase out smoking. Anyone born after 2008 will not be able to buy cigarettes or tobacco products in their lifetime under a law expected to be enacted next year. Doctors and other health experts in the country have welcomed the world-leading reforms, which will reduce access to tobacco and restrict nicotine levels in cigarettes.
New Zealand says it will ban young people from ever buying cigarettes in their lifetime. It'll be one of the toughest attempts to stamp out smoking deaths in the world. Starting in the year 2027, anyone up to 14 years old will never be allowed to legally buy cigarettes there. Associate Minister for Health Aisha Varral announced the plan, which focuses on the disproportionate impact of tobacco on New Zealand's Indigenous Maori population.
We want to make sure young people never start smoking. So we are legislating for a smoke-free generation by making it an offence to sell or supply tobacco products to those aged 14 when the law comes into effect. Our projections show the New Zealand European population is likely to achieve smoke-free status by 2025. But Māori won't achieve this goal for decades if we don't act now.
The government will consult with a Maori health task force and public health experts in the coming months. It wants to make the ban law by the end of 2022. New Zealand authorities have not said how they plan to police it. The country's tough restrictions will put it just behind Bhutan, where cigarette sales are banned outright.
And that's it for regional and international news. A recap of the headlines is up next. Let's look back at what made news tonight. Driving instructors and police reach settlement on the use of 30-year-old guide marks for driving students. TAMCC workers to receive outstanding payment this month. Jobs preservation dominates TAU annual general meeting on Thursday. A fake vaccination card or certificate can incur $10,000 fine or 6 months imprisonment. In regional news, brazen school shooting leaves school teacher dead in Jamaica. Internationally, New Zealand to ban cigarette sales for future generations. And in sports, athletics coach Wayne McSween and athlete Gamali Felix return from the inaugural 2021 Pan Am Junior Games in Colombia. That's the end of GBN Nightly News for today, Thursday, December 9th, 2021. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. On behalf of the entire GBN News team, I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh. Enjoy the rest of your thankful Thursday.